The Butcher of Prague. A dark introduction, Reinhard Heydrich, a name that echoes through the halls of history with a chilling shiver. Known as the Butcher of Prague, Heydrich was one of the cruelest architects of the Holocaust, responsible for the deaths of millions of innocent people. His rise to power within the Nazi regime was meteoric, fueled by his relentless ambition and insatiable cruelty. Heydrich personified the evil of the Third Reich, a regime built on foundations of hatred, racism, and genocide. He was a master of manipulation, a cunning bureaucrat who used his intelligence to plan and execute some of the most heinous crimes in human history. This essay will explore the life and crimes of Reinhard Heydrich, from his seemingly ordinary childhood to his rise to power within the SS. We will examine his pivotal role in implementing the final solution, the Nazi plan to exterminate the Jews of Europe. We will delve into the horror of his actions as governor of Bohemia and Moravia, where he ruled with an iron fist, terrorizing the population and crushing any form of resistance. Finally, we will analyze Heydrich's legacy and the vital lessons we must learn from the horrors of the past to ensure that such atrocities never happen again. An ordinary childhood seeds of evil, Reinhard Tristan Eugen Heydrich was born in 1904 in Halle, Germany, into an upper-middle-class family. His father was a talented musician and composer, while his mother was a renowned pianist. Heydrich grew up in a culturally rich environment surrounded by music, literature, and theatre. Despite his privileged upbringing, Heydrich was a solitary and introverted child, often bullied because of his physical appearance and high-pitched voice. Some historians speculate that these childhood experiences may have contributed to his cold and vengeful personality in adulthood. In school, Heydrich excelled in his studies, demonstrating exceptional intelligence and an aptitude for math and science. He was also an avid reader, devouring books on history, philosophy, and mythology. However, behind his facade of a model student, Heydrich cultivated a fascination with nationalist and anti-Semitic ideas. Germany had emerged defeated from World War I and plunged into a deep economic and social crisis. The Treaty of Versailles, imposed by the Allies, humiliated the German nation and fueled a sense of resentment and desire for revenge. In the midst of this climate of instability and uncertainty, Heydrich, like many young Germans, was seduced by the promises of order, greatness, and national restoration offered by the rising Nazi party. Rise in the SS, embracing Nazi ideology. In 1931, at the age of 27, Heydrich joined the Nazi Party and the Schutzstaffel, Hitler's elite paramilitary organization. The SS, led by the ruthless Heinrich Himmler, quickly became an instrument of terror and repression within the Third Reich. Heydrich rose quickly through the ranks of the SS, driven by his intelligence, ruthless efficiency, and unwavering devotion to Hitler and Nazi ideology. He proved to be a talented administrator and a ruthless organizer, transforming the SS intelligence service, the Sicherheitsdienst, into a vast network of espionage and control. Himmler recognized Heydrich's potential and made him his protege, entrusting him with increasing power and responsibility. Heydrich became Himmler's right-hand man, overseeing the systematic persecution of political opponents, Jews, and other groups considered enemies of the Nazi state. Heydrich's cruelty knew no bounds. He was a staunch advocate of violence and terror as tools to achieve the goals of the Nazi regime. Under his leadership, the SS became a brutal and relentless force, spreading fear and terror throughout Germany and eventually throughout Nazi-occupied Europe. The Butcher of Bohemia and Moravia, Terror and Repression. In 1941, after the invasion and occupation of Czechoslovakia by Nazi Germany, Heydrich was appointed protector of the Protectorate of Bohemia and Moravia. Ruling from Prague, he unleashed a reign of terror, crushing any form of resistance and implementing brutal policies of Germanization and persecution. Heydrich closed Czech universities, arrested intellectuals and cultural leaders, and shut down newspapers and other forms of independent media. He imposed draconian racial laws, stripping Czech Jews of their civil rights and forcing them to wear the yellow star. Under Heydrich's brutal rule, Bohemia and Moravia became a laboratory for the crimes of the Nazi regime. He oversaw the creation of the Theresienstadt concentration camp, a transit camp where tens of thousands of Czech Jews were imprisoned. before being sent to extermination camps in occupied Poland. Heydrich's cruelty earned him the nickname the Butcher of Prague. He delighted in inflicting pain and suffering, believing that terror was the most effective way to control the population and consolidate Nazi power. His brutal actions in Bohemia and Moravia served as a sinister foreshadowing of the horror that would befall Nazi-occupied Europe in the years to come.